Hello everyone and welcome to a new video from Your Overwatch. I'm Eddie the Chump and today is a guide for the new and improved Soldier 76. Because his damage profile change impacts a lot of his kit, we deemed it worthy to revisit him with a fresh outlook. Bulk damage. So Soldier used to be a hero whose damage output could lead to chip and not much more. This in turn could lead to enemies evading, getting healed and feeding enemy support ultimates. But now he can legitimately eliminate squishies solo, as it only takes 5 headshots to do so. Bear in mind he has 25 bullets in his magazine, so that's a max potential of 5 kills. Obviously nobody would ever hit every shot to the head, but it is a staggering amount of potential damage and demands respecting. Where this really shines is oddly against tanks. Squishies tend to have small headshot hitboxes, but Winston on the other hand has a headshot hitbox the size of the moon, which makes full auto spraying at close range very reliable on him. The only concern you should have is, can I survive long enough to eliminate a threat to you? Yes, his offensive potential is now massive, but he still only has 200 HP. If a Winston is Zarya bubbled onto you, then pops his own shield, you could be in for a rough time. Likewise, D.Va is also a problem for Soldier, as her increased health, ability to chase you down, and heavy armor value make her a complete nightmare. This is a trend with the new Soldier. He's a very dynamic hero. Things can go from good to bad for you quite quickly, so you have to use all his tools to get the most out of him. His improved base damage moves him into another tier for sure, but Soldier requires the player to be good at a number of skill sets to really prosper. As the player, you need to be able to read the game well, as you have movement options that teammates don't. You can isolate yourself accidentally, overextend by yourself without really noticing, or run away from a fight that you need to commit to. Your positional sense has to be excellent to maximize his ranged impact. Fire control. Soldier's base damage got buffed, but his full auto spread got extended. So in practical terms, what does that mean? Well, it differs depending on your range and what you're shooting at. One thing he can do now is full auto shred large targets like a Rhine shield even at medium range. There you won't notice the spread. Likewise at close range, full auto is fine on most targets. Where you will notice it is at medium to long range on squishies. There you will have to develop some CSGO-esque fire control. That means tapping and bursting heads whenever it's preferable. If you learn to do this, you'll be shocked at how lethal he can actually be. Target prioritization. Now, just because his damage has been improved does not mean that he will automatically avoid Soldier's main weakness. Even post-patch, it is still relatively easy to do a whole lot of nothing with him, leading to feeding ultimates for the opposition healers. How you counter this is by having good target prioritization when in a chaotic fight. Recognize what's low in health and finish them. Focus fire with your team and always remember to utilize Helix rockets. It's the only true burst damage he has, and its cooldown is deceptively quick. You'll catch a lot of people re-peeking you after an exchange susceptible to a good old-fashioned noob tube to the face. Like I said, Soldier requires a lot of different skills. Target prio and reading the game well go hand in hand, so make use of his quick cooldowns to be a sharp object, not a blunt instrument. When you can, avoid too much trash damage on frontline tanks and instead try to focus backline squishies, especially Ana, who if left alive will extend a fight and eventually win it with Nano. This will require taking smart positioning, either claiming high ground or by taking smart angles that can set up your range damage to reach where it needs to be. Soldier versus tanks. A big dynamic change for Soldier is his increased effectiveness against tanks. You can really erode a tank's health alarmingly quickly now by spamming into their large head hitboxes. Full auto is your friend here, as their large but constant tapped headshots are also a good option depending on range. Just as McCree got a nerf to fan the hammer, we suspect Soldier might get adjusted again at some point, because really tank busting isn't supposed to be his forte. But while it's here, take advantage. If you have a Zen on your team, their Winston or Roadhog is going to have a very bad time. Despite this, don't be fooled into thinking he's the best option. If the enemy team triple tanks against you, or plays well and gets the right healing, a Soldier is no replacement for a Reaper. Fantastic FOOTSIE tools. One area that Soldier has always been strong in has been the FOOTSIE game. His infinite sprint is one of the best abilities in the game for it, and if utilized properly can totally outplay a stronger damage specific hero like McCree or a dangerous flanker like Genji or Tracer. His biotic health station can add to your chances of survival too, especially against those squishy flankers. It can be used as a FOOTSIE tool by just planting yourself in one spot and laughing as the enemy flanker's chip damage against you evaporates and you wait to use a Helix rocket at the right time. It's kind of like the Aikido approach to dueling. I am Soldier, I am a tree, you shall not move me, I will use your strength against you, and noob tube to the feet. Just because you can evade, it doesn't mean you have to. All his cooldowns are relatively quick, so if you're naturally good at footsies, you can do well with Soldier. More heals. From a team composition perspective, Soldier is a hybrid. In many ways that sums up his design. He's hit scan but has a projectile burst ability and can also do impressive healing. So impressive in fact that his biotic station is now stronger than a Lucio amp post Amp's nerf. Think about that for a moment. It does have a smaller range to be fair, but having 2 healers and a soldier is like playing 2.5 supports. It's especially good if you get caught in something like a Graviton. A friendly Ana nade and a soldier heal station is like a budget transcendence in that situation. And that's the thing, most people waste it trying to keep themselves alive too late. Either use it to sustain against a flanker or a Winston diving you, or pay very close attention to your teammates and their health, relieving some of the burden on your supports. Discord and Soldier. Oh Zen, how Soldier loves you. This is a short one. Discord with Soldier's new damage profile is very good. Discord's value is best optimized when paired with reliable damage, because more difficult skill shot damage typically doesn't need the boost from Discord to confirm a kill, whereas less difficult reliable damage has lower burst output. Discord orbs transform the reliable hit scan of Soldier to have the best of both worlds. Ultimate is now top tier. Soldier's ultimate is drastically improved by his damage buff. Because it's an aimbot, there's no spread. All 25 of those bullets are hitting, but it gets better. If you combine it with Discord, it turns into a death ray. But wait, there's more. If you nano Soldier for his sights, it really is rippity rip for the other team. Another thing is that it doesn't require setup, other than being out of range of disable by hook or stun, etc. In fact, in the new slower charge rate era, burning a sights to draw out a powerful defensive ult like Transcendence is a high value play. As if they use it to defend against you, they have nothing for your teammate's potential Graviton, for example. How much value does one hero need? Well, like this guide illustrates, Soldier players have a lot of utility at their disposal, but to make the most of it, you have to have the game sense and footsies to exploit it. If you don't, then you can end up contributing nothing. Nothing will ever die, but you'll still have gold damage from Rhine shields. That's not where you want to be, especially as his potential is viable now. When not to Soldier. The Soldier buff firmly placed him as a viable option. There are many ways to leverage his strengths, but you should be careful to not assume he works in every situation. What Soldier lacks is the mobility to gain the ground he needs and the precision to burst down the correct target. In some situations, many other DPS may still be a better fit to win the game. If the enemy healers are playing too well, staying out of the fight and providing a large lifeline to their frontline tanks, Soldier may find it difficult to blast through to get to the relevant targets. Also, the spread of his rifle hurts his long range, so the revamped Widowmaker and the Sky-High Farer may cause his team trouble from a distance, with little he can do to protect his teammates if they play well. Soldier is better now, but he's still a ground-based bulk damage dealer, and doesn't have the mobility of Genji, Tracer or Farer, or the same burst of a McCree, Reaper, Hanzo or Widow. He's definitely a powerful pick, and can take over the game in the right circumstances, but you'll be wise to be wary of watching too closely your gold damage medal, as if the right things aren't dying, or if you don't burst through the enemy's healing, you may not be getting the DPS value your team needs. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like. If you want us to cover anything specific, please don't hesitate to leave a comment below. Also, please follow the Your Overwatch Twitter. It's where you can find updates about new videos and streams. I've been Eddie the Chump, and until next time.